Teresa, come in. Come here.
She's like, no,
I'm ready to go.
Now go. No, we're good. No music. We're good. No music.
Just start talking.
Start going.
We are Journals Out Loud. I'm your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, here with a panel of wise and wonderful young people. Please welcome, if you will, Shierra.
We can do the music.
That's right. Tatiana, Josh, Jilly, Jabbar,
and here
Tara, and of course, Luna, our mascot. Thanks for being with us. We're awesomely happy to have you on this fine and lovely day. It's just weird to open the show without the music. I assume you're going to insert it later and make everything
We lost it in the earthquake last night.
make everything that I say sound bouncier. Who has anything to share before we get into solving the world's problems? Oh, you guys are exciting.
I'm finally all moved into my new apartment with my
Yay.
roommates and everything.
Really? How many roommates have you got?
There's just one.
You said roommates. That's why it was confusing.
Yeah.
Luna's, I don't know.
What are the features of your new abode?
We have a pool, a jacuzzi,
Nice.
a gym, a racquetball court, a sauna, dance studio.
Did you move into the YMCA?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's just, I mean, like, it's just like one of the nice apartments.
Oh,
Like,
it's tricked out.
yeah. And then,
Fully
like,
loaded.
She's got money.
no, I don't. So I don't know how I afford it, but like it works. And I
Okay.
make it work. So it's
Um,
great.
All right, cool,
See
cool, cool.
what's going on. I'm going to New York in a couple weeks.
NYC.
What you going to be doing?
I'm gonna be training Foster youth out there in New York on some stuff.
Oh, nice.
They're sending people from New York here, and then I'm gonna be going there. So we're like doing a cultural exchange type deal.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
House swapping.
House swapping, yeah.
And Jilly, how's college going?
College is going.
Yeah.
And gone.
Gone.
It's tiring. I've recently taken up yoga to try and help with the stresses.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a journey.
Mhm.
I accidentally kicked someone in the face last night.
That because you said you got dragged to yoga yesterday.
I
saw that
did.
Snapchat.
Yesterday I got dragged. It was late and I was tired. And my
Mhm.
friend was like, "We're going." This morning I went voluntarily.
Really?
Yes.
Nice
right?
change. One
But
night
no,
progress.
Right? But yesterday I literally kicked someone in the face and I was like, is this a sign? I felt so bad. Literally, like, I was like, this is horrible. Like, if someone kicked me in the face, I would be pretty pissed.
Yeah.
And so
You'd be like, foot, that's my face, foot.
I would be like, I just wanted to go to yoga and I got kicked in the face. And so, college is great. We're taking L's left and right, but
Do
we're
you know-
bouncing back.
Do you know what
We're
you're
bouncing
majoring
back.
in?
Yeah, I major in communications.
Oh, okay. So this whole exercise is definitely...
What, yoga?
No, I mean
Oh.
like being on a podcast.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, well, we're actually trying to communicate with words. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
And let's solve some people's problems, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Shierra, would you read the first question?
Yes. I really like these two guys. My friends called me a whore because I'm talking to both of them. They really made me feel bad about myself. I like them both and can't choose one. What do you think?
Can I just start with, like, what is up with girls? First of all, if you've never kissed anyone, they call you one thing. And then if you are talking to two guys, they call you something else. Like, how do you be a girl and not get attacked?
Well,
You don't.
but also, like we were talking about this earlier, like girls need to, I feel like I'm quoting some movie where it's like girls need to stop like putting other girls down.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like, I think,
We suck. Like,
we're
we
the
just
worst
do.
at it. It's so easy for like girls to blame another girl or put another girl down, and like but like it's so much easier to do it than to actually like support each other, because there's competition and you feel insecure, and it's so much easier. I think we default to it, unfortunately, especially in like the society that we live in. And I think that this is like a perfect example of it. I think that you don't, just because you're talking to guys you don't owe them anything. Just if you're talking to a couple guys and you're trying to figure out like if you actually have real feelings for one or the other or none at all, I think that's totally fine. If your friends are calling you a whore, that's problematic to me. I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone else has any feelings about
I mean,
that.
that's definitely problematic if your friends are calling you that. I don't like labeling in general, especially like slut shaming for just being like open and to looking at possibilities in your life. I think it's normal to have multiple people that you're talking to. The one thing that concerns me a little bit how you worded your question is that it almost makes it seem like you haven't like let them know that you're seeing other people, and maybe that's why your friends are coming at the angle they are.
It also
doesn't
depends
make it
on
okay
like
though.
how flirtatious or sexual are you via talking to both of these
That's
guys.
why I said
So
the way they're like talking with the quotations
So
make you
make
think it's
sure-
more than talking, and then also at the same time it makes it think that she's not really telling the guys that she's seeing two people.
right.
That
So
she's probably making it out to be like, you're the only one for me.
yeah,
yet-
so make sure you're just being honest with
Yeah.
everybody, because as long as you're being honest and everybody understands, then no one gets to judge you.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're like trying to hide the fact you're with two people, especially to the guys, then maybe that's where your friends are coming from. Doesn't make it okay they're calling you a whore either, but at this-
Even no matter what you're doing, that's not the right
Yeah.
word.
Well, she also says I can't choose between them. So when she's asking like, what do I do? Take into account everything that everyone just said, but also, honey, you gotta choose someone. You can't keep stringing people along all the time. So what I would do is like think of which one gets you better, and then like you don't want to keep talking to two people if like you can't just like fully go with one, because then they're probably both wrong for you.
That's interesting. But I also think that if you're not being romantic or sexual with either one, then you can continue talking to both until
Yeah,
there's a
that's
clear
like,
leader.
That's like that 13-year-old talking.
Yeah, I'm still confused by what is meant by talking. Does it mean flirting? Because
It means so many things.
Right.
That's what I think. I think in this case it might mean more, and that's why the friends said what they said.
But
But
at the same time, there's an analogy.
Or the girls are jealous
And
that
that
she has two boys talking to her.
There's a comedian, and let's just assume it's Seinfeld, because most brilliant stuff like this he thought of. But he says that, and when you're driving, people that drive faster than you are maniacs, and people that drive slower than you are idiots. And so I feel like girls are really judging anybody who's going at a different speed that they are.
Yeah.
And that we need to check ourselves. Jabbar, what do you think?
I like that quote a lot. The
Yeah.
driving fast, driving slow. That's actually really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's how we gauge whether or not someone's behavior is okay, if we would do it. And there's just different speeds to go, and so it's no one else's business who you talk to, as long as they both know that they're not exclusive with you. Then just gotta chill. And like whenever you hear a girl, I would say like just the girls in this room, when we hear a girl using that word whore, can we just check them and just say like, actually, the description of the word whore is someone that gets paid to have sex. So if I'm doing that, go ahead and call me a whore. But I don't think I am. So that's a really nasty word. And it's a very judgmental word. So, and it is slut shaming. And let's just not do it. Have we solved her problem though? Oh, because I think her big
Yeah.
problem is she can't choose one. And I think, Tara, you summarized.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Yes, you did. All right, Jabbar, next question, please.
Oh. Thank
Oh,
you.
sorry, Tatiana.
Right. Yes, thank you. So I'm 18 years old and I have never been kissed before. I feel like I'm the only person on earth with this situation, and everyone I knew had their first kiss, and I don't even have a boyfriend. Is it normal that I didn't have my first kiss? Well, I mean, I relate to this on a personal level. I'm 18 too, and, you know, most, if not all of my friends have been in relationships. They've kind of have experience in that department, and I don't. But I don't think in any way that it's not normal that you haven't. I think it's great, actually, because it means that you're not just trying to jump into a relationship or look for a first kiss for the wrong reason because you haven't done it. It means that, to me, it seems like you're someone who's very thoughtful. And what I would recommend is not rushing at all, because I don't think there's a particularly right age for you to have done something by. You're going by your own speed, and just because your friends have had relationships and they have, you know, they've had the first kiss doesn't mean you need to catch up with them. What I recommend is, you know, still waiting. Don't rush into anything. When you're ready, you'll know it. And I don't think that you should compare yourself to other people, because you're both in different situations. You both have grown up differently. So things like that also factor into account. So don't, you know, try to get into something that you're not necessarily ready for.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think like what's normal is that you're questioning the fact that is this normal, And I also think that like if you're looking at it from an outside perspective, what's not normal is trying to fit yourself into a box. Like no one has the same experiences you're gonna have. Whatever. My first kiss wasn't until this age either, and I'm a guy, and usually we're the ones who are supposed to be the pursuers or whatever. So at the same time, I think that like, is it normal not to have your first kiss? Yeah. Like, and some people haven't had the first kiss years beyond that too. So just take it whenever it happens, and then go from there.
Does anyone want to tell a first kiss story?
Oh
No?
I feel like I have to now that I
Yours is
said
great,
oh
now
no.
you
It was really awful, actually.
See?
It
Don't be in
wasn't-
such a
I
hurry.
okay, so it wasn't like, I shouldn't say that in case she's watching, but at the same time, it was like I was sick. I had a sinus infection. Like it was, and it was like I just got done eating.
brave.
I just got done eating like sushi and like this peach like baby, like, you know those puree things, like peach puree, whatever. Like it was just not the day to do it, and that's when it happened. So it was not fun. But yeah, I mean, she didn't say anything, so she had sushi too. So I guess that even
Cancels each other out.
cancels it out. We both had sushi breath, I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, most first kisses are probably pretty much of a mess, I would guess, 'cause no one really knows how to do it, and also it's like really intimate to put your mouth on someone else's mouth. So I wouldn't be in any hurry to do that
okay,
unless
so
you really love the person.
I'm interested to know what Tara was shaking her head about. No, they're not a mess. So
Yeah,
Pants
Miss
Tara.
Perfect first kiss.
yeah, Miss Perfect first kiss.
It wasn't perfect.
She
by
studied
no
up first. That's what it
means.
was. She like
No,
watched
She was
I-
like
videos and
kissing
was
her
like, "I'm
arm
gonna
for like years.
Yeah, I did do that when I was a kid because
Yeah.
I wanted
Not
to
gonna lie,
make
me
out.
too.
But no, like my first kiss, I kissed 3 or 4 guys before I actually made out with them. I would only let them peck me because I didn't know what I was doing.
Mhm.
But with that being said, the first guy that I kissed, it sucked because his friends kind of like got him to like go after me because I got much prettier in high school because I had like braces and I kind of like knew how to dress a little bit better. So like they were just like, oh, like go kiss Sarah, and he like walked over to my neighborhood with his friend, and then he like kissed me and he tried like making out with me, but that didn't happen, and he was talking about wanting to take me to homecoming, and then he didn't. So it was like a whole like, it was like a player kiss, like I got played for my first kiss. But I mean, it was okay, like it was totally fine. Like
Doesn't
dude's
sound
cool.
Like it from the tone of your voice. It's like,
I really
"Oh, it was
don't
okay."
care. No, I don't care because like I've had better kisses since him, so it's just like thank you.
Thank you.
Tatiana.
Actually, yeah, adding on to what you guys said, that made me think of another point, that it's probably good that you haven't had your first kiss or first relationship up until this point, just because, like, it's a known fact that boys are a lot more immature than girls, and girls, like, we mature way faster, so you'll probably find, like, from this point onwards in terms of age, like, I'm sure either you're just graduating or you're in your senior year, you'll find that it'll be easier to maintain, like, a steady relationship with someone just because they've kind of gone through... Well, I mean,
But
not
yeah,
saying
yeah,
that, like,
yeah,
you
you're
will,
trying,
but
yeah.
it'll probably be easier, like, especially, like, okay, you know what, Tara, you just caught me off guard.
I'm sorry, but
For the most part, like, okay, we'll stay away from relationships, but I'm sure with first kisses, it will be a lot better because, for the most part, I feel like they would have had experience, so.
Just don't eat sushi.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to be mean. No, don't do
No, but
No,
like
I
I
get
think Tatiana's making the point like that if at least one of the two people has had some experience kissing, they can help teach the other person.
Well, I think that's her point, and
You
then
can't-
also the point is like when you're
Teaching
older, it's more likely to evolve into something more like serious than just having like a random kiss behind the library like back door
Yeah.
or whatever. Like I don't
like
know.
both people would be more mature about the
Julie's like, what?
the intimacy of what's happening instead of just like chalking it up like
Jilly,
okay, got it done.
How about you not judge and
What?
tell me your first kiss then?
No, I'm laughing because my first kiss was behind
The library
the-
back door.
It was like in a Ferris wheel, right?
No,
Oh, yeah,
actually,
was it the
no,
Ferris
it
wheel?
wasn't. It was like behind the gym at school actually.
Oh,
Freshman year of high school.
Cute.
It was cute.
Yeah.
I think I was just thinking the one thing that's kind of good about not having a boyfriend up until then is you can like learn from the mistakes that like your friends are making from their
Oh my
boyfriends.
God.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. So you don't have to make those mistakes, and you could just learn from
There-
them.
Mm.
It's true.
What?
I
Tara?
will say though, because I didn't have a relationship in high school, like it was just like boys like kissing, and then like I wouldn't have sex with them, so then they wouldn't want to kiss me anymore and like talk with me. And so I didn't have an actual real relationship until I was 17, 18 with my ex, and it lasted for way too long. And like it was harder for me to cut it off because I never got over like my first love. Getting over your first love is really hard, especially when you're an adult, I think too. And that was like killer.
I agree. I think there's some value to what Tara is saying.
Thank you, Josh. Thank
while like what you're saying makes sense, there's something also about experiencing it yourself than looking at it and taking in information.
Well,
Tatiana, I know you said you wanted to like.
Right. No, actually, to add on to your point, made me think of another thing as well. I think it's good, like up until that point, because, like you said, like seeing other people's relationships and what went wrong and how people react in certain ways. I think you become more confident and more knowledgeable about what you want out of a relationship and the type of guy you want. So it's not necessarily, all right, I just want to get into a relationship for the sake of it, but you're actually looking at what are these guys' characteristics or this girl's characteristics, and is it something that I feel if I get into a relationship it's going to be beneficial. So I mean, I think it's good when you wait and you're going into it for the right reasons.
yeah, and I think that, you know, we can't place too much importance on the kiss, and like if it's not perfectly magical, then like how could I ever be with this person? But I think we maybe place too much importance on it. If you haven't been kissed and you think that it's this big milestone that you have to get past, it'll just like, there'll be just like this moment where it happens and you'll be like, oh my gosh, now I'm on the other side of this. Awesome. Like, yeah, it does happen in like a burst of light, and then you know, it's like, okay, I'm no longer someone who hasn't been kissed. So, but wait until it feels that natural. You know, don't chase it down like, oh, I'm so far behind, everybody's going to know. No one can look at you and know whether or not you've been kissed, honestly.
And to add on to what you said, Louise, too, a lot of guys actually find it attractive. So just bear that in mind. No, it's so true, though. No, like, well, I mean, I wouldn't know because I'm not a guy. But like a lot, but from what I've heard, some guys find it really attractive, like knowing that a girl hasn't like been with everybody, because it shows that you're like.
It's just for not the good intentions that maybe you're hoping.
Exactly. Wait, okay, so elaborate on that, Josh. Like, I want.
Oh, come on, Tatiana.
What?
That is so normal because they want to do it first, like with a girl. Like they want to be like the first, and like
you're saying that. What are you saying? That if you haven't been kissed, that means you're a virgin?
Can we move on?
Is that what we're talking about?
No, not like that. Oh my God, I give up.
I don't understand.
I don't understand what happened.
The show got away from me.
like
All
those
right.
chips last night.
Yeah. So yeah, but can we just say this before we move on? Everyone goes at their own pace.
That's
right?
the biggest thing.
Yeah, just go at your own pace. There's no big hurry. Kissing's not going anywhere. The guy that you're supposed to be with isn't going
Hopefully
anywhere.
not going
So
anywhere.
he's around the next corner.
Hopefully. Well, we don't know if it will end tomorrow. Sorry.
Oh, you're talking about, you know,
Just the earth. But
that Trump's president? Therefore, kiss everyone right now. Because
All right, let's go.
TikTok. All right. Whose
On
turn
the
is it?
clock.
Whose turn is it? Josh, please read the next question.
wow. This girl sends text that seems flirty, but then later sends something that makes me think she was just being friendly. She sent me a bunch of really nice messages, such as "Good morning, have a good day. Hopefully, I'll see you this afternoon." And you have no clue how big that made me smile. Thank you so much. That like legit makes the entire world to me. Then later she tells me she's thinking about asking out another dude. Then today she sent me a Snapchat, and I said I would reply with a picture of me, but I look terrible since I just woke up. Then she was like, "You probably don't." Smiley face. I swear she's flirting, but do you think she's also trying to hide her flirting enough to not ruin a friendship? How can I ask her casually if she's flirting with me without coming across weird? Okay, well, she's flirting with you, and also she's trying to make you jealous by talking about other guys. So, I mean, it's not weird.
Or she could have a flirty personality and she's friend zoning you because
I
like,
don't know
that's-
if you would go out of your
it
way.
wasn't a
to
winky
write-
face.
But
it
you
wasn't
would
a
go.
winky
Okay, so
face.
you would go.
You're
Tara. You'd go out of your way to say good morning, like all of this other
to
stuff
a guy
somebody.
friend. Yeah, hell yeah, I would.
Okay, then
What,
you're the
you
type
don't
of girl that
believe me?
needs to like go out in the corner by themselves then, like, 'cause that's kind of
Okay.
misleading.
I think it's misleading. If she's not flirting with him, she's definitely
Or
misleading.
she's a nice human who cares
Nah.
about another human.
You,
No.
or you like misleading people, Tara. Just kidding.
Jabbar.
I'm trying to like break this down.
Yeah, break it down.
If a girl's saying good morning, have a good day, hopefully I see you this afternoon, you have no clue how big that made me smile, thank you, you're flirting with me.
Yeah.
You're flirting with me, absolutely. But then you're talking about other dudes.
Well, okay, can I tell you what I told him to do in the app and tell me whether or not I made a huge mistake?
Probably.
I said,
no.
Did you
I
cuss
said
him
that he should say to her, like, how am I supposed to ask you out when you talk about asking out other guys?
No.
Oh.
No.
He's going straight.
Absolutely
to
not.
Why?
There's no way that you're going to. Like, you're going to come across weird, but you can say, hey, like, I really want honesty. I just kind of feel like you're flirting with me, but, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, can you just, like, let me know? And it's like, you just be honest. And then if that doesn't work, and then it'll be weird, but, like, you'll get over it. It's friends.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Thank you.
better
Right,
than
but be honest. Like, hey, what's going on here? You're flirting with me, and then you're talking about a guy. Like, what's going?
No. Don't
No,
say you're
no.
flirting with me.
No.
Wheezy. Say, hey, I feel like maybe you're kind of being like a little flirty with me. I was just wondering.
What's
are
the
we
difference
like-
between?
Oh, there's a huge.
You said flirty. You said flirty in your sentence just now.
Yeah, but
No.
her, she's
No, it's
like
just
not
like-
attacking
it's
as
It's
much.
not attacking. Just like,
Casual.
hey,
It's
like I
like-
feel like a little flirtation coming
It's
across. Like,
different.
is that me or is that just me thinking it?
That's
Something
good.
like that. God, am I
I'm
wrong?
getting a flirt vibe.
I don't ever want to hear a girl say, I feel like you're flirting with me. I don't want to even tell a girl that I'm flirting with you. That should never come out of your mouth or my mouth.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about like the guy to the girl.
Yeah, so what do you? Okay, so
flirting.
You're not a girl. Or
No.
no, you would be asking the girl. Like you would be asking
I'm
me.
not gonna be like, you're flirting with me. I'm not gonna ever say
so
that.
what do you
want
want to say?
What are you gonna say?
If you liked me and I didn't like you, like.
You like me.
Yeah, but the guy doesn't
How
like
do you
the
know?
girl.
But you don't know. You're not that person. That person doesn't know. Here's not
Well,
you.
I'm the finesse king. I always get answers
Oh.
after
Oh.
whatever I
Jeez.
want.
So then
Um,
Yeah,
I
so-
will basically, if you're sending me all this stuff, you're sending me this stuff, I'll probably be like, you really, I don't want to curse because that's normally my language with the people I like.
You can curse.
Okay. I normally be like, you really fuck with me. I'd probably say something like that, and they were getting an answer, and they'd be like, why do you say that? And I'm like, because blah, 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 blah. And then I can tell, but that's basically how it normally goes.
I
I
think that's
normally
okay.
just get an
I
answer.
know him, and that's okay for him to say.
Yeah.
Tatiana.
Or if you wanted to, have a more entertaining conversation, you could just play her game and tell her like, "Oh, this girl is really cute. What do you think? Should I ask her out?" and see if she will?"
Oh.
Playback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And see,
Play
because
the
I mean,
game.
like we were saying, like girls get jealous really easily.
Yeah,
so
we
you'll
do.
be, if she changes her tone, you'll be able to tell.
Oh yeah. If she changes her tone, that's actually a good teller right there.
That's smart.
Question. Check.
Okay. I'm more of a fan of the direct route of just asking her out.
No,
Just, like-
absolutely not.
But
Not
that's
this day
because
and age.
You've like lived a lot of life experience, and you just like don't want to have to like. Deal
I
with
just
the
want
bull-
his question answered. What does she
We
like?
just answered it.
Okay, so she likes you.
Yeah,
and,
she likes you. She likes you.
Like
Yeah.
either play her game or be straight, like Wheezy said, or a little indirect to figure it out.
Or curse like Jabbar.
Yeah.
I like it though.
I think you should just like go for it.
Yeah, we think she likes you. So just with that in mind, move on, son. You will be fine. Next
Move
question.
on.
No, move on with
Oh, move
progressing
on with her. Okay.
towards this
like-
girl. Yeah. Go ahead, Jilly.
Okay, I have a friend who copies my homework.
Jilly.
What? Oh, I got confused. Was that not my name? That got.
What is your
doesn't
name?
matter. Okay, I have a friend who copies my homework answers because she doesn't do her homework. She cheated on her test by looking at my answers. I'm starting to get angry at her. Can you tell me what to do?
Tell her to stop. Bye.
Ew, I hated people like you in high school. Just show me your answers. Give me your homework.
Why?
Just give it to me.
Jabbar.
You know,
Jabbar,
we get in
Just
You're
trouble.
not going to learn anything unless you do it by
High
yourself.
school
Okay, but-
doesn't. It's not. I never learned
Are you
anything in high school. It's to literally pass and get to the next grade.
Okay, but here's the thing though. If it's bothering the girl, then okay, you can say something. If it really bothers you, but
So-
it doesn't matter anyways because like Jabbar's saying either, just like do it. But if it's bothering you, then do something about it. There
Jilly,
you go.
don't act like you don't cheat, Jilly.
Everyone cheated.
So,
I
so,
did
so,
not cheat
listen,
in high
there's
school.
this move,
I did.
and
so
you look at her,
much.
you smile, and you say, "You're making me uncomfortable."
Well, here's the thing. Like you got to look at the
No.
bigger picture here. If if your answers are all the same and you're sitting next to each other, you're both gonna get in trouble. And does your friend really want like you getting in trouble? Just explain that to them. Maybe it will change, but at the same time, like it could cause a disruption in the relationship if that's
It
what
could,
your
but do
friend
you
thinks
want a
your
friend
friend
who
for.
only uses you for your...
I don't think that the friend only uses her for the. Who's breathing right now?
I think it's Luna.
Oh, it was Jilly.
No, I think
Anyway, so I don't think the friend's only using her for her answers. I think that this is just a particular aspect of the relationship that she doesn't like, but you just have to talk it out. That's what relationships are.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Who else?
mean, I don't think that you're obligated by any means. I think you can always say you haven't done it yet. That's a good way to
Jilly
get
likes
out
lying.
of doing it.
Just lie out of your ass.
Yeah.
No, I just think you
But
can
I
be
also
direct and you
think-
can say this. You're putting me in a weird position and I'm not comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I like in high school, cheating was like a big issue, and people got like expelled and suspended for doing it. Like
yeah.
like people, like it wasn't something. No, it was like a big, like if there was any, like if people suspected that, like if teachers suspected that there was any sort of like cheating within like tests or answers were similar.
Yeah,
or
there could
whatever,
be an
like,
honor code.
Like it was.
Listen, I
what?
would have been
It
expelled.
was like really serious. So like for me, like that was just like never, like it was never even like remotely worth it for anybody, because like it was way more of an ordeal to cheat than like not to cheat, because it was just like escalated really quickly.
Yeah,
But
so
I
that
don't
was the
really know.
culture in your school, but not in
so, like,
Jabbar's.
right, so maybe
Yeah.
that's just
I mean, if you're not wanting to be direct, maybe try to like get them to cheat in other ways, like off the phone or like something like that. I don't know, but I know like cheating is just not good in general. I had a professor once that I didn't work with them, like, or had a class, not work with, I didn't have class with them. But they did talk to me about what they did around test times. They would go onto Wikipedia and change the facts of whatever the questions were in the test, so that when the students, she could literally tell who was using Wikipedia during the test because she
Wow.
had put wrong information in in Wikipedia.
And Wikipedia will correct itself within like
hours or
24
whatever,
hours, but
but
not, like, immediate.
during the test
That
they would be the
is-
wrong answers, and so afterwards.
on their phones.
Yeah, and so
Holy
afterwards, she would look through all the answers of the tests and see who was using Wikipedia and be like, okay, you're suspended, you're suspended, you're suspended, bye.
whoever said that George Washington's middle name was Herman is expelled.
Damn.
So, Jabbar, as much as your charm offensive worked to get you through high school, I don't think that only the kids that felt comfortable doing it should have been doing it, not somebody that just felt like, oh, you wouldn't be their friend anymore if they didn't. Like, what would have happened if somebody just said, I'm not comfortable doing that? Would they still be your friend?
I just never had friends like that. I couldn't.
All your
understand
friends were
that.
like felonious.
They literally did not care.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So we're going to go on to YouTuber Rice Gum. I came upon this video and I was like intrigued by it. So it's this guy is a really, really neat online YouTuber personality, and he's like in defense of his little sister who's maybe 11, who's I guess getting bullied by this girl, and he displays video that her bully put online bullying his sister, and then he uses that to go on the offensive in defense of his little sister. Does everyone understand the situation?
Yes.
All right.
Play the clip.
So let's play the clip. Here.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think she's any
Uh,
moves ahead.
I don't know.
What happened?
Four-dimensional?
Four-dimensional chat. I mean, look, she's posting stuff online and she's all sassy. This little 11-year-old, and
She
she's
was-
like, "Well,
she
she
scared
touched the boy
me.
that I
She
touched."
scared
She scared me. I was like,
I
oh
was
my God.
terrified. Yeah, and so I would want my big brother to come to the defense. But like earlier in the video, for example, he put up on the screen like he shows the little girl. And then he put, where are her eyebrows? Because she has really blonde hair and you can't see. So, like, he was kind of bullying the
Damn.
bully. Like, so how do we feel about that?
He's also though just like giving her attention because like the bully probably isn't like YouTube famous at all, and he
Right.
has like so many subscribers. So like I know sometimes like YouTubers will do that kind of stuff just to give like the smaller account like more like views.
Mhm.
So like he's just giving her more like views because they're gonna watch her videos now
I mean, I think it
if
just
she has videos.
brings up the question of like, how do you deal with like a bully? Like, what do you do, and like, what's the best response? Because I think, you know, like he could have kind of maybe dealt with it without, like you said, like maybe like putting her video up there, like maybe talking about like doing a video like in defense of his sister without kind of mentioning like that video, but at the same time, like, would it have had like the same weight? I don't know. Tatiana.
I mean, I agree with what you both said, and I think if he wanted to use a YouTube video to discuss it, maybe he could have used his platform for something completely different and just spun it around and maybe like brought attention to bullying in general, because I know like in the US it's something that's really serious, and like right now it's leading to suicide and people self-harming, and maybe he could have focused it in that light by saying like, you know, my little sister's being bullied and bullying in general is just not cool because it leads to this and this and this, and maybe like brought more awareness to it rather than dissing her back. I think that would have had a more positive outcome, because, and it's so corny but it's true, but by bullying her he's now at her level, and I don't think it makes any of them better now because they're both playing the same game, and you know, when you fight fire with fire you're just gonna end up getting burned. So
He's not at a level anyway, though. I mean, he does this for a living.
Yeah.
He roasts people.
Yeah, he
on
does
No,
this
for
internet
sure. It's
for a
like
living.
it's like a
Yeah.
heckler taking on a comedian. Like the comedian's gonna win.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But at the same time, there's this sort of phenomenon online where anybody with any beef can go online and be very vocal in public about it. And it feels like in order to like take something back or reclaim something on your own terms, people have been adopting the name that they've been called. For example, when Hillary used the term deplorable, you saw all of the Trump people calling themselves adorable, deplorable online. And then when Trump called Hillary nasty woman, all of the Hillary fans are just like, I'm nasty. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, why would you claim that? Nasty is typically not good. You're not nasty. You're just strong and brave and bold and proud and awesome, but you're not nasty. So it seems like he attacked by going to the level of an 11-year-old. And I like Tatiana's idea better if he had simply just described the situation. Thoughts?
Rice Gum could learn a thing or two from us.
He's really good, though. I wish we could play the video. He's got like a great presence, and you know, he's like, he loves his little sister, so it was pretty great on a lot of levels. But I just wanted to discuss it with you guys because this is where battles are being fought.
Disgusting.
Right out in the open.
Yeah.
So I wonder what happened when she went back to school.
I just want to say it's all love from here, Rice Gum. So if you see us, don't make a diss, please, because he's really
make a
good
diss.
at-
Give us some
He's
views.
good at roasting people, and I don't want to
Give me some
cry.
subscribers.
Oh yeah,
Like,
don't make Tatiana cry. She's back for. She'll leave.
Jabbar,
I'll
next
leave again.
next question, please, Jabbar.
Okay. Do you have any advice for someone who's dating a person with severe depression and how to deal with it?
Oh, okay. So I think I've said on the show before, and my stance is always probably going to be the same. When you're in a relationship, friendship, any type of two people relationship, you're not really in a relationship with that person if they have depression. There's a certain part of them that's entertaining the thoughts and different feelings that they're having. And so while you are with a person that has severe depression, there's really nothing you can do to help them in the aspect that you're going to save them. You can be there for them. You can listen to them and support them in your own way, but also know that they're not necessarily hearing it the way that you want them to, as well as at the same time, the relationship that you think you have isn't the relationship that you're in. So I definitely, in my opinion, think that just being there is all that you can do, because there's nothing else that's going to change it for them. There's something going on with them that they have to figure out on their own.
Right. It's sort of like having a relationship with someone that's underwater. Like they don't really hear or feel everything that you're saying. And so you want to get something back from your friendship that, you know, the amount that you're giving, and you're not And maybe you can equate it to someone who has a problem with substance abuse, or they're just not really themselves. And so they need to be getting professional help from someone else. So make sure you don't, confuse your role with that of, someone that would be professionally helping this person. You're the friend.
Agree.
You're not, you're not an expert.
I definitely agree, and I think like adding on to like they are asking any advice also, like some advice is like don't take it personal. They're going through their own thing, and it has nothing to really do with you, especially if they lash out on you and you know that you're only trying to be there for them. That's just know where they're at. And also besides that, also realize that they are just, how do I explain it? So while you're dating this person, like you could kind of become their world in a lot of ways that they try to latch on to you. So know and stand your ground with your own boundaries in life as well, because it could also turn into a situation where you're the only thing that makes them happy. And then
now you're both drowning.
Now you're both drowning. So just have healthy boundaries as well.
Excellent. Tara, next question, please.
Okay. I have a major crush on my best friend. Both of us are female, 14, and bisexual. I really want to ask her to homecoming, but I'm scared that if she doesn't return my feelings, it'll get too awkward. What should I do? We've said this a million times to people. Like, if you guys are best friends, obviously you can be honest with one another. So communication is key. Talk to her, kind of like you can hint at it, or you can just be, upfront and honest about everything. And then, it may get awkward, but that's what happens when friends develop feelings for friends, and then you get over it as long as you have communication.
I like what Tara said. I think that with the communication, you already seem like you're communicating. You both said that you're bisexual to each other. So honestly, you're probably you're halfway there already, because you already know like they possibly could have feelings for you. And it's not like, well, are they gay? Are they not gay? Are they LGBT? Like whatever. And so it's like you already know that there's a possibility that it's in their scope of feelings. So it's actually looking pretty good. I think that if have conversation, and if it doesn't turn out the way that you want, it's probably a lot easier to backtrack into a friendship if you're both bisexual than it would be if one person isn't and they're trying to understand your feelings.
I would also say that before you move forward to something public like homecoming, you would make sure that your parents okay with same-sex dating, her parents okay with same-sex dating, your town, your school is okay with same-sex dating, and
safety.
Check off everything, because personal safety has to come ahead of the rest. And then what everybody said.
Why are you against me today, Josh?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
What
it.
did you do to
I hit
Tatiana?
her in the
He
head.
slaps me in
I
the
just
back of my
slapped her.
head.
I was like, you're talking, I'm over here like,
You may as
He was
well,
just like,
you'd be safer having yoga with Jilly.
Oh,
she's
I'd rather
kick
get
you in
kicked
the face.
Yeah. Let's go back to Shierra for the next question.
I go to an all-girls grammar school, and I'm getting bored of it. I'm not happy anymore, and I have no friends there anymore because they all left me. I want to move to a school closer to my house, but the only problem is it's quite a rough school, and it'll be a normal school, which will lead to my education suffering. What do I do?
Well, I like the word normal is in quotations.
Yeah.
I don't know what is meant by that.
I'm guessing that means public school.
Probably
Yeah.
public school.
Yeah.
I think in general,
I mean,
that actually might be what you need, because there's a different cultural value to public school than there is being in a private school. I do know that there's possibly more better education in private school, and Tatiana has something to say about that as soon as I'm finishing. But I do think that I do think that public school, there's a value to it that you won't get in a private school.
well, I know you're against me today, Josh, but I was actually about to agree with what you said. So, but because I've been on both sides of it. Like, I've been in a private school and I've been in public school, so I know how you feel. And when I went to public school, it was for high school, my freshman year, and I was terrified because I had based public school solely off of what I saw in the movies. So I thought I was getting slammed against lockers. I didn't make eye contact with anyone. I was just literally just a little mouse for the first day. And funnily enough, public school ended up, the school that I went to in particular, it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. And I know there's like this stigma that with private school you're getting more of your money's worth, the education is good, but I mean for the most part public school isn't that bad, and I was fortunate enough that the public school I went to actually had magnets. Like they had advanced programs, they had so many opportunities, they had like after school tutoring, they had AP classes, honors classes, so I think it's also worth it to maybe check out. Like you're so welcome to like do tours of your school, find out more about it. These days we have the internet, you can search online. You can find people like through location tags on Instagram now. Maybe you can like just DM them and ask like, hey, what are some things that you like about the school? Are you laughing?
No.
You can shadow.
Yeah, you can chat. Like you can do, and I think you'll end up finding out that you'll probably have a really, really good experience there. I never thought like ever in a million years when I was younger that I would go to a public school, and from then on, even when I like changed cities before I came back, I was like I didn't even really think about the possibility of going to a private school. I think it's a lot more diverse as well, which is great. Like you're having people from coming from all different like counties and districts, so you're more open to new experiences, and I think you learn a lot faster. Whereas with private school, I felt like I was really sheltered because it does feel like a bubble, because everybody for the most part is within the same range as you, so you're not really kind of going outside of that realm.
It depends a lot on the neighborhood and the school system. So really find out, in some cities and some counties, public school is going to have way more to offer than any private school. But it really just depends. It goes school district by school district, Josh.
Yeah, I think in this case, it's really also about changing like your thoughts around what public school is, because you said your education would suffer. There's more than linear education. There's learning about how to interact with people, different cultures. There's things you would learn at that school that you're never going to learn at a private school.
And also, I feel like after-school programs are much more prevalent and wide-ranging at a public school. They have more to offer if you want to be in band and the school plays and things like that. The private schools are like, there's just less options usually in terms of clubs and activities.
I'd be kind of interested to hear what Jilly has to say, because we actually went to the same,
same
private school, well, like middle school.
When
it was like middle school, right? Because I was like in.
I don't know. I went there forever, so whenever you were.
I think I was in middle school that time,
school?
just before you entered high school.
What?
So I kind of like to hear like your opinion.
Yeah,
on this.
I mean, what's my opinion on?
You went to a pretty big private school though.
What do you mean?
I mean, it has a lot to offer, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like size wise. I was like, my graduating class was 85 people.
Oh.
My graduating class was 30.
All right.
Oh.
What? Where did you come from?
She lives on an island.
No,
my
that's not it. It was
wasn't
private school.
Mine
private
was
school.
485.
Jesus.
Mine was 1,500. I win.
You win. How
I
big was
know.
yours,
Live in a
Jabbar,
city.
where everyone cheats off everyone else's papers?
Jesus.
Yeah, mine was like 1,200.
Oh, yeah, that's why they didn't
You
notice.
could get away with that.
Yeah.
I think for me, I loved. I mean, it's all I knew, really. I went to public school, kindergarten, first grade, but obviously I have little to no recollection of that, so it doesn't really count. I think that, I really like the small learning environment and like the closeness that I was able to develop with my teachers, and I got really involved on campus. I was like really involved in student government and like community service and clubs and all these different like extracurricular activities, and I think like that for me was really great. I grew up with a lot of people that I went to school with, which was good and bad. I think I knew everyone pretty much that I went to school with. For me it was a really great learning environment. I think that I I think it was really great. I think compared, like, I needed, like, Buckley was great for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for a lot of people, they, like, it was very safe for them, and they were very comfortable. And so the bubble that you're talking about, I get that. And we joke about, like, the Buckley bubble, the private school, like, everyone's very safe. And I kind of pushed myself as much as I could to branch out and, like, to do things outside of it. I think that, the biggest thing for me is, your education is your priority. And I think that even in college, like, a lot of my friends, are having right now, like, problems and are talking about, like, transferring or, because they're stressed out with friends or they didn't get into, a sorority or club or, what they wanted. And I think, the biggest thing is like your education is your priority. Like that's why you're there. So I think like regardless of what you do, like you need to, focus on like your education and whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah,
So I
and
think,
finding the right fit for you.
Yeah.
Because every kid has different needs. We're going to just address this one last question. Is it true that boys are mean to you when they like you?
Yeah.
Every
No.
age? Every age? Because I feel like
It
that
can be
that
and it
tape-
can't be. Yes and
What are you
no.
talking about?
I feel like if you're over
What are you
15
talking
and
about,
a boy is
Jilly?
mean to you, that's a disqualifier.
Is
Okay,
it
yes, it's a disqualifier, but that
always?
doesn't mean that they're not
A
being
lot of
mean
the
to them
time,
because they
yeah.
like them.
But they would have by the time the boy is 15, he would have to know that you're in on the joke if he's teasing you, right? He wouldn't just be
No.
mean.
I don't think so.
It's
you
a-
can't
it's a
judge
thing-
Can you
people.
back up for a second? You said they're always mean to you.
Not always. No, it can be. It's either they are, they're not. Like it's never a thing where you can just say like, "Are boys mean to you?"
Okay. I thought you said
on
always.
all ages,
Sorry.
yes, there are those that are going to be mean to you when they like you, and then there are those that aren't going to be mean to you when they like you because they're gonna grow a pair and say, "Hey, I like you," instead of like, "Oh my God, you're so silly." Like there's what?
That was mean.
Oh well, like being sarcastic, sorry, I'm all about like sarcasm when I'm being mean to people, but yeah, like it's just it varies on like who they are as people and like what happens. So potentially yes and potentially no.
I think it depends on like the level of meanness.
Mm.
Like, are they like bullying you,
Mike.
or are they being like? Hi. I was just saying, I think it depends on the level of meanness. Like, are they bullying you, or is it like jokingly mean?
Yeah. Are you included in the joke? That's, I think, a key factor.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Because a 12-year-old might just be mean because he doesn't want his friends teasing him about liking a girl. But by the time you're older, hopefully, if he's being mean, it's in a
Hopefully.
fun, teasing, joking, like you silly, or like, I don't think that you can make someone cry if you like them past the age of 15. I think that's
mean though.
huh?
Okay,
Like mean or like teasing,
So,
like flirting.
what
like,
you're
there's
saying
a
is
line.
idealistic.
Okay.
However, I don't think that's what happens in the real world.
All right. So what
I think that-
happens?
I just think, like Tara said, at all ages, it's possible for somebody to be mean to you, even if they like you. You can't generalize everyone into one box. I think that it's ideal that somebody wouldn't be mean to you and they'd be in on the joke after age 15, but there's going to be people who are still mean to you no matter what until the day that they die.
All right,
just
so
because they like you.
What do you do about it?
You
You-
don't
you
do
just-
anything.
Like, okay, when you get older, maybe then you're like, okay, you like me, so either you knock it off or like whatever. Like, just because as you get older, there's just not time for the bullshit. Like,
Right.
let's just put it out there.
Nah.
And you can also
Like-
be really clear about how you expect to be treated.
Exactly.
You want my attention.
Exactly.
you
If they
gotta
cross
do
it again, then be like, okay, well, you like me, but too bad, never happening. Like, bye,
I date,
Felicia. Get
I
out.
date nice guys.
Wow.
Like
Thank you.
Southern gentlemen.
Thank you so much for being with us. We are Journals Out Loud. Please subscribe and
Felicia.
like and let us know what you think so we can address your questions and concerns moving forward. See you next week. Bye-bye.
So weird without the music.
music because that computer basically